Terence Crawford says the Errol Spence fight might not happen because he ain't signing the contract. Give me what I want or it will be no Errol Spence fight. Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and sub to the channel if you ain't already subbed to the channel. Yeah, y'all heard, right? Like I said, man, hit my like button and I'm gonna give you this news. So, I've been talking to people that is very close to Terence Crawford, and I'm not talking about sources and, boxing sources and all of that. I'm talking about people that are directly close to Terence Crawford. And these people have been telling me that, due to negotiations and the money issues, which is not an issue, right? Let's make that clear. It's not an issue. Now, I don't know how much the PBC is offering Terence Crawford for the Errol Spence fight, right? But I know how much Terence Crawford is demanding. Terence Crawford is demanding $25 million, right? And that's the upfront money, $25 million, right, for his purse. Also, he is demanding the 55-45 split on the back end. So Terence Crawford is demanding a whole lot of money. And right now, Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza in the PBC, they basically saying that, hey, we're not paying you no $25 million purse, and we don't even know how this fight is going to do, right? So we're going to pay you how much we're offering you, which, like I said, I don't know how much they're offering him because, to tell you the truth, I didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? When I was talking to my people that's very close to Terence Crawford, they was telling me this and I'm listening, and so I didn't even get a chance to ask how much PBC is offering. But so PBC is basically saying, okay, this is what we got for you. This is the amount that we have for you, and then if the pay-per-view does very well, you can make the rest of your money on the back end. But Terence Crawford, he ain't rocking with that. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck on the number that he wants because he believes that it's people, investors, right, that's putting a lot of money into this fight. So with that, he believes that he should get a lot more than what he's being offered, right? He's trying to play tit for tat instead of, banking on the back end money. And everybody knows that PBC fighters, they're always reported a low purse. You might see Errol Spence guaranteed purse on the front end might be $3 million, $4 million, right? If that. And then on the back end is where he making all his money. Say, for instance, in the Mikey Garcia fight, right? I think that they reported that Errol Spence was getting paid like $3.5 million or something like that. Well, Errol Spence ended up making over $15 million, upwards towards $20 million in the Mikey Garcia fight alone. I think it was somewhere around 18 mil he made off of the Mikey Garcia fight alone, once all the back end money came in. And the PBC do that so, the fighters don't have to pay taxes on that back end money. They only have to pay taxes on the money that is reported. Al Heyman is a super smart businessman. So, they're not going to change the way they do business for Terence Crawford. So if the pay-per-view is going to do big numbers like everybody expected to do, well, they're saying, okay, you're getting 45% of all the revenue on the back end. What is the problem, Terence? And he's not rocking with that. He wants to get all of his money on the front end, right? So you want to get $25 million on the front end. Therefore, if the pay-per-view doesn't do well, he don't have to worry about nothing because he already got a big payday. And this is the problem, especially working with somebody like Terence Crawford. He doesn't like to do the necessary things that these fighters do to sell pay-per-views. He don't want to do the certain interviews. He don't want to pull up on, certain big platforms and, promote the fight. He don't want to travel and promote the fight. Basically, all he wants to do is go to the certain few people that he'll speak to, which is very, very few platforms, right? He'll speak to them, and then that's it. He want to get in the ring and fight. But boxing is much more than that, especially in this day of 2022. These fighters have to do a lot especially when they trying to promote a big pay-per-view like that. These promoters are not promoting like they used to. They put a lot of that work in the fighter's hand. The fighter got to be able to promote themselves and promote their own event, right? But what the promoters will do is they're going to say, okay, well, you need to go over here on Monday. On Wednesday, we want you to go over to this platform, right? On Friday, you need to go over to Brian Custer and do his platform. You know what I'm saying? And then you need to go here. And then you need to go here. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. And it probably takes a lot out of the fighter when they trying to train. But everybody they all got to do it if they want to make the big money. And Terence Crawford ain't about doing that. He don't want to do that. That's why Bob Arum said, hey, you know, a lot of the reason is because of him. He didn't want to promote himself. And Terence Crawford even admitted that was a lot of the problem. He said, yeah, you know, Bob is right. I don't like doing interviews. I don't like doing a lot of things that that comes with promoting the fight. He admitted it. So now here we are again. You got to go over to the PBC side, right? Which you should have did a long time ago, because that's where the big money and that's where the big fights is. In the PBC fighters, you see Errol Spence, you might see him do 30 interviews, you know what I'm saying, in the months leading up to a big fight that he's trying to promote on pay-per-view, right? He everywhere. And Terence Crawford, he don't want to do that, so they're looking at Terence Crawford's history. For one, they're looking at his history. We pay you all this money up front, and then you don't want to help promote the fight. What we look like? We look like some damn dummies. We're not about to do that. And then y'all got to look at the other aspect of it, right? Say the pay-per-view go down, it's promoted well, everything, but then the fans don't buy the pay-per-views. They don't buy the pay-per-view, right? Like I tell people all the time, when a lot of these people are in their homes, they'll tell you they bought the fight. They'll tell you they paid for the fight. But when the numbers come out, numbers don't lie, and numbers show that these fans ain't paying for these fights like that, right? So with that being said, you got to look at this. And like I always say, you got a streaming remote in your hand, right? Where you can get the fight for free. And then you have another remote in your hand where you can click on your cable provider or whatever it may be, and you can pay for the fight. Ain't nobody else watching you, right? You the only one that's in your home. What you think most of these dudes gonna do? They gonna pick up that streaming remote, right? Save their money and watch it for free. I know. I have a lot of homeboys that do that. They don't pay for fights. Me, I'm different. I'll either go to the fight, and if it's a fight that I support, if it's a good fight that they put on, I'll buy the fight because I know what it does for boxing. Because when we have big fights come up like this, then we don't have an issue of the big wigs not wanting to put on the fight, or, you know, money issues because they don't know how well the fight is going to do, because they know that certain fan bases don't buy fights. They just don't. And, you know, you can't bank on Terence Crawford's fan base because they certainly not buying his fights. 100,000 pay-per-views, right? 120,000 pay-per-views tell you that they're not paying for his fights. Now, Errol Spence, he sells much more, but like I said, compared to the amount of people that are streaming these fights, it's just ridiculous. So you're gonna get a group of people that say, "Oh man, if Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, I'm paying. I'll buy that. I'll buy that." Man, no, they won't. And you know what I'm saying? No, they won't. The ones who buy the fights are gonna be the same ones who gonna buy this fight. And y'all know who y'all are. The ones who always pay for fights that are worthy of being bought are gonna be the same ones that buy this pay-per-view, right? And then the ones that scream every fight, no matter what fight it is, and they gonna tell you that, oh man, if Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight, I'ma buy it. I'll buy that one. No, they are not. It's a lie. And so with that being said, you think Showtime and PBC is gonna bank off of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence selling 1 million pay-per-views? No. maybe in a rematch once they gauge to see how big the fight is going to be. But I'm not paying you no $10 million, Terence Crawford, because you haven't even done anything when it comes to selling fights to tell us that you're worthy of $25 million. And my bad, I think I said 10 million before. I mean $25 million. No, I'm not going to pay you no $25 million, right? You're going to get your money on the back end, just like all the rest of the fighters do. You ain't going to come over here and change how we do business. So now Terence Crawford is telling people that's close to him that the fight might not even happen. You know what I'm saying? It might not happen because he's willing to pull out if they don't give him exactly what he wants. He said he'll pull out and he'll go another route. But like I said, with all of that being said, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Drop a comment in the comment section. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone. And don't forget to hit the like button.